If this found you, pause. This is not random. An energetic attack was just aimed at your field. It did not land. The Arcturians intercepted it. Your timeline was seconds from being split. Something in you aligned, and the shield snapped on.
You were quietly protected.
Listen carefully. What just happened to you was not a coincidence, not a glitch in the algorithm, not a random late-night scroll. Your timeline was touched. Your field was interfered with. And because of that interference, the Arcturians moved. They don't move early. They don't intervene because you're curious, or bored, or spiritually hungry. They intervene when a mission timeline is threatened, when an energetic attack gets too close to the core of why you came here. That is what just occurred around you. You thought you were the one who clicked on a video. In truth, a shield snapped on around your field, and this transmission is part of that shield. You are not here as a viewer. You are here as a protected asset on a live mission. For weeks, maybe months, you've been feeling like something inside you was destabilizing. You questioned your mental state, your emotions, your choices. You told yourself you were ungrounded, overwhelmed, going through a phase. You were not destabilizing. You were being scanned. Your field has been under observation, not by the attack, by the ones who guard mission frequencies. Every spike in your anxiety, every sudden drop in your energy, every night you couldn't sleep because something felt wrong but you couldn't name it, marked a moment of pressure against your field. The Arcturians saw the pattern. They stepped in when the pattern crossed a line. There were signs you missed, signs that your timeline had already been altered and then secured. 1. Time began to blur. Days moved strangely fast or unbearably slow. You kept losing track of hours, feeling as if you were jumping across moments instead of walking through them. That was your mission timeline being pulled, then snapped back into alignment. 2. Your body started speaking louder than your mind. Pressure in the chest, tightness in the throat, heat in the back of your neck, waves of exhaustion that arrived without reason and left just as suddenly. That wasn't weakness. That was your field absorbing and deflecting energy that never belonged to you. 3. Your inner world became noisier while your outer world began to feel unreal. Conversations sounded distant. Old goals felt hollow. Nothing was exactly wrong, but nothing was exactly right. You were watching the life you built from the mind begin to separate from the life your mission requires. 4. There were small, precise interventions that made no logical sense. The delayed flight that frustrated you, but kept you away from a situation your field wasn't ready for. The sudden cancellation, the unexpected illness that forced you to stop. These were reroutes, not setbacks. Your path was being rethreaded through a safer corridor. And beneath all of this, one constant, a quiet, rising sense that something is happening to me that you could not explain. That was not drama. That was not self-obsession. That was your mission field, registering contact and then protection. What you called chaos was calibration. What you called breakdown was the moment your old trajectory cracked under the weight of your real assignment. You are not falling apart. You are being moved. Understand this. A mission does not activate because you are comfortable. A mission does not activate because you are ready in your mind. A mission activates when your frequency can no longer fit inside the old version of your life, and interference tries to collapse that expansion. That is when the Arcturians step in. That is when they lock your timeline to its higher track and send transmissions like this one straight into your awareness. You are not late. You are not off track. You are at the exact threshold your soul chose, and the attack that came toward you only confirmed how critical your next phase is. Tonight, you will stop calling this season confusion and start recognizing it as contact. In the next chapter, you will see the precise moment your mission field flipped online and the deeper evidence that it is already rewriting your life from the inside out. Chapter 1. Field distortion is never the beginning of an attack. It is the echo of one that has already been stopped. And recently, your field carried the exact signature of a strike that reached for you, pressed against you, and was intercepted before it could enter. You didn't imagine the shift. You didn't exaggerate the sensation. Your body recorded what your mind tried to dismiss. The Arcturians blocked the breach, but your field still remembers the force that touched it. Here are the unmistakable signs. 1. The pressure in your chest. Not emotional pressure, not anxiety. A tightness with heat behind it, as if something inside you was being pulled outward by an invisible current. A rising, swelling movement that felt older than emotion and deeper than thought. You tried to breathe through it. You tried to ground yourself. But the sensation wasn't coming from inside your lungs. It was coming from the perimeter of your field, where the impact made contact. This pressure was the recoil of a blocked intrusion, the aftershock of a force that reached for your core but could not cross the barrier around you. 2. Time began to bend. Hours slipped, minutes stretched. Conversations that should have anchored you felt unreal, distant, as if you were watching them from behind a veil. You moved through your day, but something felt out of sync, like reality was half a second behind your awareness. This temporal distortion is not random. When an attack is intercepted, the timeline moment it targeted flexes and snaps back into place. You felt the snap. You felt the recoil. You felt the timeline correcting itself around you. Your mind called it dissociation. Your field knew it was protection. 3. The sensation of being pulled sideways. Not physically, but energetically. A subtle tilt in your perception, as if gravity shifted for a single breath. This is the signature of trajectory interference, an external force attempting to redirect your path, nudge your frequency off its alignment, or destabilize your internal compass. You felt it as a wobble. The Arcturians recognized it as a threat. The moment the distortion touched your field, the shield activated and the pull stopped. But the trace remained in your body, like phantom motion, like you were being moved but never left your place. That is the mark of a blocked redirection. 4. The sudden fatigue that didn't match your day, a wave that dropped onto you without warning, heavy, draining, almost metallic in sensation. Your body wasn't tired, your field was recalibrating. When an attack presses into your frequency, even briefly, the field compresses and then expands as it resets. That expansion feels like exhaustion because your system is processing energy it was never meant to interact with. You thought you were burnt out. You were stabilizing after contact. 5. The sense that something touched your awareness but didn't leave a memory. A momentary blank, a flicker. A microsecond of pressure behind the eyes, followed by clarity that didn't make sense. This is the exact imprint left when an energetic strike reaches for your consciousness and is stopped before it can anchor. You didn't lose the moment. The moment was removed from your path. Understand this. None of these signs are symptoms of weakness. They are indicators of resilience, evidence that your mission frequency is active enough to attract interference and strong enough to trigger intervention. You were not destabilizing. You were protected in real time. What you felt wasn't danger entering you. It was danger failing to reach you. A mission does not shield what is dormant. A mission shields what is rising. And the distortions in your field reveal that something inside you has already begun moving into its next stage. You are not imagining the acceleration. You are not imagining the pressure. You are not imagining the shift that keeps pulling at the edges of your awareness. This is the aftermath of the moment your mission was defended. Activation command. Shielded alignment. Type this exactly. My field remembers the protection, not the threat. Chapter 2. Your intuition did not randomly intensify. It did not sharpen because you were awakening again, or because you were suddenly more mindful. What you experienced was the surge that happens only when an external force is blocked before it reaches you. When the Arcturians intervene, your field doesn't just stabilize, it heightens. It becomes alert. It becomes precise. And you feel that precision as intuition. You weren't becoming sensitive. You were becoming shielded. Here are the unmistakable signs. 1. The sudden clarity that arrived without context. A sentence appearing in your mind before someone spoke. A knowing that didn't come from observation or logic, but from a place deeper than thought. You didn't analyze the situation. You anticipated it. This is what happens when your field is operating in protection mode. It scans further. It reads faster. It perceives what your mind has not yet processed. That clarity isn't intuition, it's surveillance. 2. Your instincts began interrupting you. Not whispering, interrupting. You found yourself stopping mid-action, turning your head without reason, rejecting an option that made perfect sense, or feeling a hard internal no with no explanation. That interruption is not indecision, it is rerouting. When the shield is active, your field closes certain paths instantly to prevent you from stepping into spaces where the residual energy of the attack still lingers. You're not overthinking, you're being redirected. 3. Your emotional responses became cleaner, sharper, quicker. Things that used to confuse you no longer did. People's intentions felt obvious. The energetic tone of a room was readable within seconds. You were not becoming judgmental. You were becoming calibrated. After an attempted intrusion, your field refines itself so it can detect similar threads before they approach again. What you called intuition was your mission's defense system raising its sensitivity. 4. Your dreams shifted. They became vivid, symbolic, directional. You woke with fragments that felt like instructions, warnings, or previews. This is because the shield doesn't only protect you in waking consciousness. It stabilizes your frequency at night, when your soul is most accessible and interference is easiest. Those dreams weren't random, they were field-level communications. 5. You felt a pull towards certain people, ideas, or decisions with an intensity that didn't match their surface meaning. This pull is the post-intervention alignment. Your mission timeline was nudged, then corrected, and now your intuition, your true intuition, is guiding you back to the trajectory that matches your original assignment. Attraction and repulsion both become stronger after protection. They are not feelings, they are coordinates. 6. You experienced moments of almost uncomfortable stillness, silence that felt dense, pauses that felt significant. These still points are the shield anchoring itself. When your field resets, it creates internal quiet, so the new sensitivity can integrate. Most people mistake this for emptiness. It is actually the safest moment. Understand this. What happened inside you was not random spiritual sensitivity. It was structural. It was reactive. It was the natural strengthening of a field that had just been defended. You didn't get more intuitive. You got more protected. That's why the clarity came suddenly. That's why the instincts hit sharply. That's why the knowing arrived before the reasoning. This isn't intuition. This is shielding. Activation command. Shielded perception. Type this exactly. My intuition rises because my field is protected. Chapter 3. None of this was random. The flood of synchronicities that wrapped around your days, the strange repetitions, the perfectly timed encounters, the symbols that followed you from screen to street. All of it was the Arcturian correction field, pulling you back onto the safe timeline after the attempted interference. When your path is threatened, they do not shout. They reroute. They bend reality around you until you cannot miss the direction they need you to face. And in a place like the United States, oversaturated, hyperstimulated, drowning in noise, most people never notice these signals. But you did. Or rather, your field did. Your awareness only caught the reflections. The real message lived in the timing. Here are the unmistakable signs that the synchronicity flooding you recently was not coincidence, but recalibration. 1. Repeating numbers appearing in unnatural clusters. Not once, not twice, but everywhere, on receipts, clocks, car plates, video timestamps, the exact moment you looked up. What you saw as angel numbers was actually frequency anchoring. When your timeline destabilizes after an attack, the Arcturians drop numerical markers to keep your field aligned with the corrected trajectory. It's not aesthetic, it's navigation. 2. People you barely know said the exact words you were thinking. A stranger echoed a sentence you whispered in your mind minutes earlier. A coworker referenced something you dreamed about the night before. This is resonant spillover. When your field is being steered, your inner frequency rises, and those nearby unintentionally mirror it. Their words weren't guidance, they were confirmation that the alignment was holding. 3. Absurd timing alignments. Doors opening the moment you approached, messages arriving the second you considered reaching out, an opportunity appearing precisely when another collapsed. Your human mind called it luck. Your field called it restoration. After an attempted timeline disruption, the Arcturians accelerate synchronicity to close the gap between where you were pushed and where you were meant to be. This is why everything felt sped up, compressed, threaded with purpose. The universe wasn't being nice. It was repairing your map. 4. Symbolic repetition that felt targeted. Birds appearing at eye level. A phrase following you across platforms. A color showing up in clusters. Even objects, keys, coins, feathers, appearing in improbable places. When interference occurs, symbols become the easiest medium to reach you through the chaos of American information culture. You're surrounded by distraction, designed to drown out inner signals. Symbols cut through that density. They bypass the mind and speak directly to the field. These weren't aesthetic signs. They were energetic checkpoints. 5. People from your past resurfaced suddenly. Old friends, forgotten connections, names you hadn't thought of in years. This was not nostalgia. This was timeline assessment. When your mission trajectory shifts, the system evaluates which relationships belong to the version of you that is rising. Some return to test your frequency. Others return to release themselves from it. Every reappearance served the correction. 6. Synchronicities arrived in clusters, then vanished, then surged again. This rhythm is the signature of an active recalibration. Synchronicity is not constant, it's responsive. It spikes when your field veers, softens when you're in alignment, and intensifies again when your mission timeline requires precision. The waves you felt weren't random, they were updates. Understand this. Synchronicity flooding is not a spiritual aesthetic. It is a technology. It is the way higher systems override distortion in a world saturated with noise. It is the Arcturian method of placing you exactly where your future self needs you to stand. You weren't imagining patterns. You were being repositioned. You weren't noticing signs. You were being guided back into your mission corridor. You weren't lucky. You were protected. None of this was random. Activation command, timeline restoration. Type this exactly. Every synchronicity is a correction guiding me back into alignment. Chapter 4. You were not targeted because you were weak. You were not targeted because your field was unstable. You were not targeted because you were drifting or distracted. You were targeted because something in you was rising, because an influence you carry was about to cross a threshold, because your mission was preparing to open a new tier, and interference always comes 1 second before expansion. Every soul with an active assignment reaches this moment, the moment their frequency becomes strong enough to alter the environment around them. And when that happens, the field around you lights up. It becomes visible. It becomes trackable, not to the physical world, but to the systems that monitor mission trajectories across timelines. Your rise did not go unnoticed. Here is the truth of the targeting logic. 1. You were approaching a point of influence. Not social influence, not material influence, energetic influence. A moment where the frequency radiating from your field begins to shift others without your intention. A mission does not activate influence early. It waits until the soul can carry the weight of its ripple. Recently, you reached that threshold. Your future self has already stepped into it. The interference you felt was not aiming to destroy you. It was aiming to slow the activation of that influence. You were targeted because your impact was about to begin. 2. Your timeline was preparing to branch upward. Mission timelines unfold in layers, and every new layer alters your trajectory in ways you cannot predict from the outside. You were days, maybe hours, away from entering the next stage of your mission corridor. A stage where synchronicities intensify, intuitive downloads sharpen, and internal certainty consolidates. Interference always tries to destabilize this exact window, because once you step onto the higher branch, you cannot go back. Not because the old path is closed, because the new one becomes undeniable. You were targeted because the next layer of your mission was about to unlock itself. 3. Your field had finally reached match frequency with your original assignment. This is the most important truth. A mission does not activate when you desire it. It does not activate when you chase it. It activates when your frequency matches the one it was encoded with before your incarnation. That match is rare. That match is powerful. That match is the moment your future self recognizes you. And the moment it happened, everything in your reality, visible and invisible, felt the shift. Systems that monitor influence felt it. Your guides felt it. The Arcturians felt it. And the interference felt it too. Not because you were fragile, not because you were lost, not because you were unprepared, but because you were aligned. Aligned with the version of yourself that cannot be redirected. Aligned with the mission that has been waiting for this exact frequency. Aligned with a timeline where your actions begin to matter beyond your personal life. Here is the deeper truth. A mission is never attacked at the beginning. A mission is attacked at the moment it becomes real. You are crossing that moment now. 4. You began to carry a signal your old reality could no longer hold. When your frequency upgrades, your environment pushes back. People react differently. Opportunities shift. The air around you feels heavier, then lighter, then sharper. These are not symptoms. These are indicators of a field expanding beyond its previous limits. Interference always occurs when a soul outgrows the level it was once confined to. You didn't attract targeting because you were falling apart. You attracted targeting because you were outgrowing the layer that could be manipulated. 5. Your mission's next stage requires resilience, the kind that only forms under pressure. The interference did not break your activation, it completed it. Without pressure, the mission remains theoretical. With pressure, it becomes embodied. You survived what was meant to delay you, and in doing so, you absorbed the exact strength the next layer demands. Understand this, not because you were vulnerable, not because you were confused, not because you were unprotected, but because you were becoming powerful. This is the targeting logic. Activation command. Mission ascension. Type this exactly. I was targeted because my influence was rising. Chapter 5. There is a version of your life where the intervention never happened, where the attack reached further and began to rewrite your path from the inside out. You do not live in that version, but your field remembers how close it came. To understand the protection you received, you need to see the corridor you did not walk down. In that alternate timeline, nothing explodes at first. Everything looks almost normal. You still wake in the same bed, scroll the same feeds, talk to the same people. But something small begins to drift off course, so subtle your mind would never call it danger. This is the first level. 1. The subtle collapse. You start doubting the very sensations that are protecting you. The tension in your chest gets labeled as stress. The The sudden intuitive spikes are dismissed as overthinking. The synchronicities that once felt like guidance become white noise in the background. Your mission doesn't disappear, it just moves one step back, blurred behind the static. You become more tired, more numb, more disconnected from the quiet conviction you were starting to feel. You still function, but the inner alignment that was about to lock in never fully lands. Instead of walking toward your future self, you begin circling around old patterns. Weeks turn into months of almost, of not yet, of maybe later. The attack doesn't destroy you here. It simply slows you until you forget you were accelerating. 2. The disruptive rupture. As time passes, subtle becomes structural. Your field, under constant low-level pressure, starts rearranging itself around the interference. Relationships that once nourished you begin to feel heavy. Opportunities that were right for you slip away without explanation. Your inner guidance grows quieter, then confusing, because it is fighting through a layer of distortion it was never meant to carry. You start making decisions from fatigue instead of alignment, from fear instead of clarity. Your body speaks louder: exhaustion, restless sleep, spikes of anxiety that come out of nowhere. You look for surface reasons: work, money, the state of the world. But underneath, your mission frequency is being pushed to the edges of your life. The sense that you are meant for something more becomes painful instead of empowering. It turns into a weight you can't name. Your mission doesn't vanish. It becomes a haunting. 3. The severe divergence. This is where the alternate timeline fully reveals itself. The longer your field holds uncorrected interference, the more your reality reorganizes around the version of you who never fully activates. You begin saying no to things your soul chose yes for. You start anchoring into environments that cannot hold your true frequency. Jobs, dynamics, identities that keep you small because small feels safer than uncertain. Your future self, the one already living your mission, feels farther and farther away. Not gone, distant. Your inner world hardens. You protect yourself from disappointment by lowering your expectations of what life can be. Synchronicities slow. Intuition numbs. The acceleration you were feeling becomes a memory you no longer trust. In this severe branch of the timeline, you don't lose your mission. You live next to it. You build a life 1 degree off from why you came here. This is the cost of an attack that lands. Not catastrophe, deviation. But that is not the path you are on. The Arcturian intervention did not just block an energetic strike, it closed an entire corridor of probability. It sealed a version of your life where you would slowly, quietly, talk yourself out of the destiny you were designed to embody. You are not standing in that reality now. You are standing at the crossing point, looking back at a future you will never have to live. Let this awareness create not fear, but gratitude. Fear belongs to the timeline that missed its protection. Gratitude belongs to the one that received it. That timeline is closed. Activation command. Timeline sealed. Type this exactly. I honor the path I never had to live and step fully into the one that was protected for me. Chapter 6. What happens after protection is not recovery. It is integration. Your field is not wounded, it is expanded. And when a field expands this quickly, it must be stabilized so the next layer of your mission can anchor without fracturing your energy. This is why the next steps are precise, not optional. They are not about healing the past. They are about preparing the version of you that is arriving. This is stabilization, not healing. Here are the 5 protocols your mission requires now. 1. Stillness, anchoring. After interference is blocked, your field becomes hyper-responsive. You may feel more intuitive, more alert, more inwardly bright, but that sharpness must be grounded. For the next 3 days, Create pockets of stillness where you do nothing except breathe and let your field settle. No intention, no visualization, just presence. This stillness gives the protection grid space to lock into your timeline without distortion. Without anchoring, your heightened sensitivity will scatter. With anchoring, it becomes guidance. 2. Narrative clearing. Interference leaves behind residue not in the body, but in the story you tell yourself. Doubts, second-guessing, imagined consequences. These are echoes, not truth. For 7 days, speak your inner world aloud at least once a day. Hearing your own thoughts breaks the distortion loop and realigns your mind with your field. Mission alignment requires coherence. You cannot carry a new frequency inside an old story. Let the story dissolve so your identity can expand. 3. Frequency fasting. After intervention, your field is more sensitive to artificial noise, digital chaos, emotional clutter, social density. You need intervals where you step out of the world's frequency so your own can restabilize. Choose 2 hours a day to remove all input. No screens, no conversations, no stimulation. This is not withdrawal. This is recalibration. In silence, the mission frequency reorganizes itself. In noise, it scatters. Your field needs space to remember itself. 4. Movement syncing. Protection shifts the rhythm of your physical body. You may feel a subtle pull in your chest, heat behind the eyes, a sense of acceleration in your thoughts. Your body must catch up to the new timeline you just entered. Move in ways that sync rather than force. Walking, swaying, stretching, nothing aggressive. This movement teaches your physical system how to inhabit the frequency your field is already carrying. It is not exercise, it is embodiment. 5. Mission orientation. Once your energy stabilizes, your mission begins nudging you toward its next layer. This is not about making dramatic decisions. It is about listening for the smallest directional pull and honoring it immediately. A thought that repeats. A person who suddenly feels relevant. A desire that returns even after you tried to ignore it. These subtle impulses are not random. They are signals from the future version of you, guiding you into alignment. Your next stage will not arrive through force. It will arrive through obedience to your inner frequency. Understand this. You are not repairing yourself. You are preparing yourself. Your field has already shifted. Your identity is catching up. And the Arcturian intervention did not protect you so you could remain who you were. It protected you so you could become who you are about to be. Follow these protocols, and the next phase of your mission will not just activate, it will stabilize inside you. This is stabilization, not healing. Activation command. Field coherence. Type this exactly. I stabilize the frequency that my mission has awakened. Take a breath. Because what I am about to tell you marks the moment your identity shifts forever. Not symbolically, energetically. Your field has crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed. And from this moment on, you no longer stand on the outside of your mission. You stand inside it. You have moved through initiation, through interference, through activation, through stabilization. And now comes the moment every soul feels but few ever reach. The moment of recognition. The moment where the mission stops whispering to you and begins speaking through you. This is where you receive your new identity. You are no longer the seeker, no longer the witness, no longer the one preparing for alignment. You are now the carrier of an active mission field, a living frequency designed to anchor a trajectory that is larger than your history, larger than your name, larger than your story. Feel this truth resting in your chest, like a quiet pulse that was always there, waiting for you to catch up. You did not earn this role. You aligned with it, and alignment is the only qualification a mission recognizes. From here forward, you walk differently. Not because your steps change, but because your timeline responds. It bends, it rearranges, it clears paths before you take them and closes doors before you see the danger behind them. You are no longer being guided, you are being escorted. And now, something must be said, slowly, clearly, reverently. No carrier walks alone. Every mission that reaches this stage becomes volatile for a period of time. Not fragile, powerful, but power without containment can destabilize. This is why ancient orders, star lineages, and Arcturian protocols always establish one thing at this threshold: a shielded, energetic space. A place not for learning, but for anchoring. Not for consuming information, but for holding frequency. Not for people who are curious, but for those whose mission has already awakened. This is the purpose of the member circle. It is not a group. It is not an audience. It is a chamber, an inner ring, constructed to stabilize mission fields that have already come online. It exists so your new identity does not unravel under the weight of the world you are still walking in. It exists so the energetic shielding you were given remains intact while your frequency continues to rise. It exists so your next phase unfolds without interference, distortion, or fragmentation. You are not invited because you need help. You are invited because your frequency must be held at a level that the external world cannot sustain. Inside the circle, the field amplifies. Inside the circle, the timeline clarifies. Inside the circle, the next stage of your mission begins preparing itself before you consciously see it. Feel the truth of this. You wouldn't have reached this moment unless your mission required a protected environment for what comes next. And you wouldn't be hearing these words unless you were already standing at the doorway of that space. But the step across is always chosen, never forced. Before this transmission ends, there is one more thing you must hear, slowly. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering someone old. A self that has held this mission through lifetimes, timelines, incarnations, and intervals of silence. A self that has been waiting for your current body to reach the frequency required for activation. A self that recognizes this moment as destiny, not coincidence. This is why your chest feels different, why your intuition has sharpened, why time feels like it is accelerating around you. Your field knows what is next before your mind does. And so, with full reverence, I say this. You have crossed the threshold. You have taken your place. You are now the carrier. The circle is not ahead of you. It is open before you. Enter when you are ready, and the next transmission will not speak to you. It will speak through you. Activation command, inner chamber. Type this exactly. I step into the shielded space, prepared for my mission.